most of the lumber had to come through the railroad.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to another edition of Throwback Thursday. I'm here at the River Greenway, downtown Sioux Falls, joined by the wonderful Dana Woolwind and Lori Kent. So I am just always excited to walk through here. There's always something kind of historical placed here. What is going on in this immediate area?
Here we have a plaque talking about Fort Dakota. Now, Fort Dakota was the first military establishment in the Sioux Falls area. Fort Sod was our original settlers fort, but with the uprising in Minnesota in the 1860s, settlers got scared and moved out. And so they needed a military presence to give them security to bring them back into this area and build Sioux Falls that we know today.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you think is important to know about this?
Oh, Fort Dakota is really cool. So there really isn't a vestige of Fort Dakota left in downtown Sioux Falls, except the Sioux Falls Parks Department, the Minnehaha County Historical Society, and Siouxland Heritage Museum do a great job of having plaques and historical markers. They even do the Siouxland Heritage Museum even does a Fort Dakota history hike during the summer months. But Fort Dakota itself was only in existence for 4 years in Sioux Falls, but its effects lasted way longer because like our first residents, some of the who's who of Sioux Falls, like Dr. Josiah Phillips and R.F. Pettigrew, they ended up using the abandoned fort as their first home while they were starting to get settled here and getting the area ready to be the Sioux Falls that we have today.
Is there something in this area historically with these markers? I mean, you know this area better than most people. What do you think is important to remember?
Oh, I think it's all important to remember, and I think we're super lucky because the River Greenway Trail, it's not only for like biking and walking, it's for learning too. There are tons of these historical plaques and historical markers on the trail for you to learn about the beginning of Sioux Falls, and then in a couple more years we'll get new ones, and that'll be more of Sioux Falls because we're going to continue to have new history.
Absolutely. Well, and segments like this are just really nice to just fall in love with where you live again. So important. Well, thank you, Dana. Thank you, Lori. It's always a pleasure learning history with you guys. Stay with us. Fastcast is next.